Here it's, for me it's off the grid almost. Now I changed my mind, but when I came, I thought it's no man's land. And I wanted to work when I came. I was hungry for that. I had the urge, I had the sense of necessity. It's perfect condition to work, you know? So I started building this studio or working in this space of the Fondazione. It was very empty when I arrived. I took a lot of trips or like walks here in Bana. Leaves, stones, the brown grid. So I brought that into the studio and used that as my grid, as my net. I'm a painter when you start working. It takes time to go in. But when you're here, because of this isolation, it doesn't take a lot. So I worked more than I'm regular. I don't know, the work gave me the discipline of the hours, you know? I didn't have to force anything. I worked when I had to. Very, very naively, like a student. I was like a student. You come, you don't know exactly what's the concept of studio yet, so you put some stuff on the wall, and you write, and you combine, and then you start seeing. You start to see what have you collected. And I divided the space between the more performative action painting to the small, intimate, personal, more mysterious to myself, and all the right part is for the small painting. It contains ambiguity, how exactly to read or to interpret them, because this is the part where painting is anamnesa. You let the action of painting, you let it surprise you. Even sometimes you don't understand where that face came from. You know, sometimes you have that, not like this big idea that on the left side. Geopolitica contains this duality of our feminine and masculine identity that is something that is super important in my practice or in the way I work, because sometimes you perform actions that are so delicate and tangible in more feminine aspects of yourself as an artist, and some other times more violent. We have that also more territorial, let's say territorial. So in the show there are two bases, let's say, two works, two floor pieces. One deals with reproduction, with display, with experience, with the act of art itself, the act of creation. Let's say deals with the cultural methods of us, you know, working, creating, adding content and context into this art field. We have so much data, we have so much content, and it's not that. It's about the form, it's about the formation of the work. I used my own obsessions of lines and streaks and angles in order to create this mechanism of like it messes your optics, it messes your almost effect. To create these effects, I use my style, my taste, my tendency. The other one, it's a hybrid. It's made out of very, very complex materials. It often corresponds the way things behave around me. I mean, I'm acting, but I'm at the same time reacting. The word Ave is something I noticed on a threshold of an old ancient house in Pompeii. That means hello or welcome in Latin. Like a big invitation, a huge, carpet of welcoming. It's very coded in a way, but it's very simple. And it's almost as if you stand in front of a border, a frontier, that welcomes you. It's both for the individual, for the private body that stands in front of it, but the size, the scale calls to what's going on above, and where can we land, or where do I invite. The question of the politics of the terroir, of the territory, is embedded in this whole move. Show this video, the first thing that I'm saying about it, it's trying to give a frame of what is this period that I was working in an abandoned place in the heart of Tel Aviv, in an historical building that is about to be demolished. This video is a collaboration with the photographer and video artist Tomer Azulai, which is a very close friend of mine, and we often work together. I was searching to expand or to reduct my practice as a painter in a matter of materials, actions I perform on the canvas. All the large-scale perception grew. So fascinating for me, by the way, to be in Italy, because the sense of history is so embedded in the narrative of the place, and the history is long. And the connection between nature and culture is maybe the strongest I've ever, met. This video, it's on the back of the show, it's on the back of the present. It's like a voiceover of the current works.